Welcome to this video on event search in Gigamon Threat Insight. Let's do an event search with the Quad 8 address indicator that was used in the entity search. Add an IP equals in front of that Quad 8 address and you will have the events. Our query language is the Insight Query Language, or IQL. NESQL users watching this video will find the syntax familiar, as IQL follows the basic premise of any query language. You can refer to the standard queries in the IQL reference guide found in the Help and Documentation menu of the Threat Insight portal. In this query, you can see about a little over 500,000 events. However, you will have access to only 10,000 events in the UI, but you don't need to scroll through 10,000 events. If you've got that many events and you don't need them all, you can refine your search. For example, let's find out who is talking to the Quad 8 address. Type destination or dst.ip equals 8.8.8.8. Then use groupbysource.ip to return all the IP addresses that are talking outbound to Quad 8 address. Here we have utilized the group by transform to see 5 hosts talking to that Quad 8 address. If you want to know what protocols are being used, do by event type. This will return what types of events we're seeing in that data. You can see there are some DNS records and some flow records. Another interesting event search is doing a group by, but looking at the data over time. Use the group by query with a day and time stamp to give a great view over multiple days of what that traffic looked like to that address. In the event search, you can also use the classic queries such as and, in, and not. Here you can look at the DNS query types that return either an A or a Quad A record. This is the actual DNS record for an IPv6 address. Now that you've gotten an overview of an entity and gathered all the events around that entity, it's time to pivot within those events to help build some all-important context. Pivoting is the first step to making sense of the information you carved out in the previous steps. One panel, multiple views, depending on the asset type. So, if you click an internal host, you get all sorts of information to help keep us busy. Things like Kerberos records, DHCP leases, and software seen associated with that particular IP address. Now, if we click an external host, we see things like Whois records, virus, total, and passive DNS results. While left-clicking an entity displays the entity panel, right-clicking displays the context menu. You get a host of enhanced functionalities, such as the ability to add to the current search, reset the current search, open search in a new tab, and messing with some time-based options. Let's do a new tab for this .200 address. New tabs are especially useful for tracking your way down an investigation without losing path. Now, let's do a simple group by to see who this IP was talking to and also list only the external communications. All of the destination IPs that the .200 was talking to is displayed. Next, let's look at Bulk Uploader. To bring up the Bulk Uploader tool, right-click the search box. Select all the destination IPs and press Ctrl-C. Next, right-click in the search box and select Bulk Add Indicators. Then, do a Ctrl-V to paste the list. Now, parse those indicators as dst.ip. After changing all of them to dst.ip, add those indicators. They all appear here in the search head. Now, repeat the same query that we did in step 1. Only now we're looking at multiple internal hosts at once. In a nutshell, you can use this tool to find things such as common patterns in traffic, high-volume patterns and traffic, and suspicious domains or IPs in the traffic. In a nutshell, with this search, you can quickly search for a thing, get more information on that thing, build context around that thing, and pivot to other things. This is the starting point of an investigation.